So we got some proper Subaru weather going on right now. Really happy I'm driving the Outback. As great as the STI is in the snow, the Outback is just an absolute beast. I love driving in this. It's been a while since we've gotten a good snowstorm in New Jersey. Right now we got about, I don't know, about 2 inches on the ground or so. We're expecting more, so definitely looking forward to driving in it. But I'm on my way home from work and should be fun. So let's get home and drive safe and enjoy the weather. Alright guys, obviously it's the next day. Roads are pretty clear, still pretty slippery, but thankful I'm driving the Outback right now, so I don't have to deal with other drivers and all that. STI is home, clean in the garage. I'm actually going to be getting a car cover. It's coming in this week, so it'll be completely protected when I open the garage and everything. Won't have to worry about the snow and the kids bumping into it or anything like that. But I'm on my way to work. Today I'm getting in the charge speed emblem mount for the grill. So when I get home today, I'll be able to install that. I'll show you just what it is and just how to actually put it on the car and kind of get some thoughts and see if we like it or not. But we'll be doing that tonight. So let me get to work and I'll catch back up with you in a little bit. Never mind guys, obviously I'm home. It's after work and everything. Basically every carrier, UPS, FedEx, everyone, they have been failing miserably during the holidays. It's just been an absolute crapshoot. I was waiting for the emblem mount to come in from Charge Speed. It was supposed to be here like 3 or 4 days ago, and it keeps saying it's going to be here and keeps getting delayed. Hopefully I get it tomorrow, but that kind of ruined my plans. I really wanted to install that on the bumper. I have a million other ideas for videos, so we're going to put that in the back burner. Hopefully I get it tomorrow. Be able to do a video for you guys on the actual Charge Speed mount with the new emblem. But for now, we're going to go over all my suspension components and everything that I have on this car, and what do I think, and if I have plans to do any more. Now, I get a lot of questions, what suspension I'm running, you know, what other components are on the car to make it drive the way it does. So I never really did a full video on everything together. I kind of just, you know, did individual videos on each piece. While that's very informative, some people are just curious about, you know, the whole package and what I think. First and foremost, the coilovers that I'm running are Fortunato 500 series. It's the Gen 6. I believe they have the Gen 7s out now. I've had these on for about 25,000 miles. They are absolutely awesome. Love them to death. I'm running the upgraded Swift springs. I went 7K all around. The default is 8K, but I bumped it down one because it's a daily driver. And I've done the whole entire really firm suspension thing, and I wanted to make it a little bit more daily drivable. So I went with 7K. Have absolutely no regrets. It drives beautifully. The coilovers drive extremely well. It shocked me when I first drove. It still shocks me until this day. I remember that when I first took the car out, I was in complete amazement of how comfortable the car felt, how composed it felt. It was a completely different experience. The STI out of the box with the stock suspension, it rides pretty well, but the only issue is it's very, very firm. Don't get me wrong, riding on coilovers is a firm ride as well, but it's a different kind of firm. With the stock suspension, when you hit a bump, it's very jarring. It feels like the car's uneasy and unstable. But with Fortunato coilovers that I'm running, it's a very solid thud, and it rebounds very quickly. And that's what makes it better handling. You know, it just reacts much faster, and the car is more composed much more quickly. So you're not sitting there bouncing all over the road. You know, it hits the bump and it's over. So the coilovers have been really, really good to me. Absolutely love them. If I ever have to rebuild these, you know, down the road, no question, I might get these rebuilt, but I might buy another set that I can throw in while those are getting rebuilt. I love them so much. They have been so good to me, and I have zero issues with them. Now, before we move to the back to talk about the suspension components in the rear, I wanted to kind of go over real quickly the parent strut bar. Now, this is very opinionated. A lot of people say this doesn't do anything. It's not a big difference. I didn't notice a drastic difference when I first put it on, but it definitely stiffens up the front of the car. Putting a solid bar across, touching the strut towers, it definitely helps. I mean, it makes the car more rigid. It makes the car more flat. It's not like I said, it's not a massive difference. You're not going to go out and say, wow, this is amazing, but it definitely helps in the overall package, and I definitely recommend it. The parent strut bar that I'm running, it's about $100, it's just under $200. So it's pretty pricey, I guess, just for, I mean, mainly for looks. But honestly, I absolutely love it. I love it so much that I'm actually installing an IAG AOS. And one of my big concerns was if it fit or not with the strut bar, because I do not want to remove it. I love the way it looks. And like I said, I think it really adds to the overall package that I have on the car. Definitely recommend one. It's something really cool. It looks really good in the engine bay. Parent offers a lot of different colors. You can get black, red. You can also get the neon green that everybody likes that matches the 2018 Plus brakes. They also have white, which I obviously have, which I think looks the best, especially with my scheme that I have going on in here. But either way, the color doesn't matter. It still does the same thing. But I really do think it really helps in the overall package. Now, this is going to be kind of hard to show you. I mean, it's under the car. The car is very low, and it's actually kind of hard to get the camera under here. But as you can see, there's a few things under here that's a little bit different than stock. The first thing that you probably notice is the sway bar. This is the Perrin 25mm sway bar. I'm also running the Perrin polyurethane end links. You also see the lower control arms. Those are Super Pro lower control arms. I'm also running their strut bar brace as well. You can kind of see it. It's the little bar right here. I had to get off the ground. It was kind of uncomfortable down there, but you guys see what I have under there. The Perrin 25mm rear sway bar is a huge upgrade. One of the things about this car is it likes to understeer. Putting a thicker sway bar in the rear actually helps the car make it a little bit more rear-wheel drive biased. So it kind of helps with the understeer and kind of creates some oversteer. It has a little bit of a rear-wheel drive personality. Obviously, it's not going to kick out like a rear-wheel drive car, but it definitely helps. I did not upgrade the front sway bar. I do not think it's necessary. I believe the stock front sway bar is 24mm or something. It's pretty thick. So there's no need to upgrade it. The one thing that I do maybe recommend doing is the end links. That will definitely help with the understeer. Currently, I just have the stock sway bar and stock end links. So that is something to upgrade in the future, but I definitely recommend doing that as well. Also, as you saw, the Super Pro lower control arms. Absolutely love those things. What those actually do is actually help dial in the rear camber, because the stock control arms does not allow you to adjust camber. They're fixed. So when you're as low as I am and you're on coilovers and you want to dial in the suspension, you're going to have to get some aftermarket control arms. I chose to go with Super Pro. It's a very OEM-like option, but it's just better quality. There's a better finish on the actual piece, so it's going to last longer. It's not going to corrode and get rusty and everything. And you get camber adjustment. Definitely worth the upgrade, and plus it looks really nice with the blue under there. I also did the Super Pro braces. Kind of hard to see, but like I said, I have a video on that as well. It's not something that I noticed. It's not a big upgrade, but they were very cheap. They were about 50 bucks. It's one of those things like the front strut bar here. I just think it adds to the overall package, adds to the overall feel. And knowing that the rear end has been touched and I did things to it, and knowing that I upgraded what I thought needed to be upgraded, the car handles beautifully. Now, this used to be my daily driver. I have since upgraded. We got a Kia Telluride as a family car. The Outback is in the driveway, so that is my new daily driver. And this is now the Garage Queen. That's why it is on the battery tender. But my main focus for this car was to keep it daily drivable. I didn't want to make it to the point where I hated driving it. It was too much. I'm going to take that mindset and route with any car that I do, even if it is a Garage Queen. I like to drive my cars. I don't like them to be unbearable and not fun. So taking that direction has really made me love this car even more. Now, like I said, out of the box, the STI drives very well. A lot of people think they need to upgrade things immediately, but if you take that car on back roads, on some twisty roads, even on the track, you're going to be amazed how well that thing handles. It's a perfect, fun track autocross car right out of the box. You really don't need to upgrade much. For me, I'm a little bit different. I just know these cars well. I have a lot of experience with them. And I know just upgrading the rear sway bar and doing the few things that I did, that really helps the car. And with everything that I did, it's just the complete total package. It handles so well, yet it stays comfortable. It's not unbearable. I love driving it every single day. Honestly, I miss driving this and I want to drive it even more, but now we got some pretty bad weather out there, as you saw in the beginning of the video. So keeping it in the garage nice and safe. That's just something I'm going to be doing from now on, just so I don't have to worry about it, and I can stay clean and everything. But it handles so well. I've driven this car. I have 32,000 miles on it. I believe I put the suspension on around 5,000 miles. So I've been driving this car with coilovers pretty much the entire ownership. So I have some great experience. I still absolutely love the Fortunato coilovers, and just adding the little suspension components that I have touched. I can't even say enough. It drives so well. Basically, all the understeer in this car is completely eliminated. It handles amazingly. It's such a fun car to really push it through the paces. And that's one of the best things about this. You know, it's not ungodly fast. A lot of people think it's slow. Yeah, I mean, I agree it's not the fastest car, but you don't need a fast car to drive it fast. But you don't need a fast car to have fun. You know, for me, handling is more important than horsepower. And honestly, the power that's in this car with all the suspension components I have on right now is absolutely perfect. I really honestly couldn't ask for more. Now, some people have been asking, are you going to upgrade and do any more braces in the car? Are you going to do anything underneath with, you know, the Cusco and all that stuff and stuff from the S209? I don't think so. I'm so happy with everything that I have in the car suspension-wise that if I feel like if I do any more, it's going to take away from it. Yeah, it would be fun to put those things on and it would look cool, but there's a line that I need to draw, and I do that with any car. If you go past that line, it's just not fun to drive anymore. It becomes unbearable, and it's just, you know, it takes away from the ownership. So if you kind of just stick toward that line and say, hey, this is what I want the car to be, and this is what I'm going to do to it, and that's it, I promise you, you'll have a much more enjoyable ownership. I've done that whole thing where I've gone above and beyond, and I've done too much to a car, and I didn't like driving it anymore. I was too worried about it. It was uncomfortable, and I didn't want to do that with this one. I wanted to keep it, as I always say, clean and simple. And that is exactly what I did with this. And I couldn't be happier with the direction I took suspension-wise. It handles so well. Absolutely love it. So if anybody has any questions about any specific suspension components that I have in the car, where I got them, maybe more details that you need, be sure to ask them below. I'll be happy to answer. I'll give you guys links if you're interested in picking any of this stuff up. Real quickly, all of my suspension components that I got are all from Singus Performance. Jeff is the guy to go to if you're looking for anything suspension related to a Subaru. He knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. He's not going to sell you something just to make money. He's going to sell you something that you need and what fits you best. That is exactly what he did for me. I said, these are my requirements, pointing me in the direction that I needed to go, got what he suggested, and I couldn't be happier. So that is it for this one, guys. Sorry it wasn't an install video. I was hoping it would be. But like I said, the mail and everything has been ridiculous lately with the holidays, plus everything going on. It's just been absolutely insane. So I will have a review and install video for you guys next week. But that is it for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, like I said, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you in the next one. 1, 2, 3.